We live in an age of performance. Even authenticity has become a strategy. Brands say we're real. Founders overshare on LinkedIn. Influencers cry on camera. And yet, consumers have never been more skeptical because authenticity is not something you say, it's something you show. The irony, trying to look real has become the most obvious form of fakery. I'm Akanksha, and this is The Storyteller's Lens. So, today we are decoding the authenticity paradox. Why brands that shout we are real often feel fake, and why the ones that stay quietly consistent end up being the only ones we actually trust. Authenticity has always been a signal. In psychology, signaling theory explains that people infer motives by comparing effort versus gain. If your vulnerability looks too convenient, brain assumes it's strategic. If it looks too rehearsed, it stops feeling real. So when a brand posts a raw emotional story right before a product launch, our minds do the math. It's not emotion, it's choreography. The harder something is to fake, the more authentic it feels. The easier it is to perform, the more manipulative it appears. That's why a founder quietly staying consistent for 5 years feels more authentic than someone bearing their soul on camera every week. There's another layer to this: moral licensing. Once we do something good, we feel entitled to do something less good after. Brands fall into this trap all the time. They flaunt their ethics for image gain, a kind of virtue signaling. Remember Pepsi's Kendall Jenner ad? They borrowed moral credibility they hadn't earned, and the internet called them out for it. Authenticity fails the moment virtue becomes performance, because real virtue does not need a press release. Parasocial trust happens when audiences feels connected to someone they don't actually know, like an influencer or founder. At first, it feels genuine, but when it's monetized or overused, it collapses. The same thing happens with brands. When they, oops, we are just like you, TikTok feel rehearsed, it's over. Audiences can smell performed relatability. Realness is not loud, it's consistent. We are in an era of authenticity fatigue. Everyone is trying to be real, and it's exhausting. Every founder is talking about their burnout. Every brand has a behind the scenes TikTok. Every influencer is crying into the front camera. Consumers, they have developed emotional calluses. They don't crave vulnerability anymore. They crave sincerity. Because vulnerability can be performed, sincerity can't. We are seeing a cultural swing back to quiet consistency, to brands that don't reinvent themselves for every platform, but just show up with the same tone, purpose, and behavior year after year. Patagonia, Lego, Apple, they don't perform authenticity, they live it. And that's what makes it believable. Let's look at Duolingo because they have done something remarkable. They have made authentic chaos a brand strategy, and it works. While everyone else tries to look polished and human, Duolingo just behaves like a human. They turn their mascot, a cartoon owl, into a full fledged internet personality. Cheeky, unfiltered, sometimes slightly unhinged. It roasts users, flirts with pop culture, and occasionally crosses the line, then owns it. But here's the key: none of it feels performed. The video are low production, messy, often spontaneous. And that's the point. They look like they were made by someone with a sense of humor, not a strategy deck. From a psychological lens, Duolingo is tapping into three authenticity triggers. Number one, effort versus gain. The signal feels honest. Their content doesn't look expensive, it looks fun. So when something goes viral, we subconsciously think this wasn't made to sell, it was made to entertain. That's high perceived authenticity because the effort looks human, not corporate. Number two is parasocial bond. The mascot feels alive. People don't just use Duolingo, they talk to Duolingo. The owl replies to comments, references trending memes, and even apologizes when it goes too far. Feedback loop creates a sense of relationship. It's parasocial trust, but done playfully, not manipulatively. Number three is consistent character, the opposite of performance. Duolingo's tone doesn't change with the trend cycle. It's been bold, cheeky, and self aware for years. When you see that green owl online, you know what you're going to get. And that's what authenticity really is, behavioral consistency over time. It's not about showing your messy side once, it's about showing up the same way every day. The result? Duolingo became the world's most followed educational brand on TikTok without spending millions on ads. Because they didn't try to look authentic, they just were. Authenticity is not about vulnerability, it's about voice. And Duolingo has one of the clearest in the world. So, what's the takeaway? Authenticity is not built by declaring who you are, it's built by behaving the same way when no one is watching. The most trusted brands today don't announce their values, they live them. They don't chase every social moment, they choose what fits. They don't manufacture relatability, they earn it by being predictable, not performative. The internet may reward novelty, but it remembers consistency. Trying to look real is the fastest way to look fake because authenticity is not a performance, it's a pattern. And maybe the question brands should be asking is not how do we look authentic, but would we still behave this way if no one is watching? Hi, I'm Akanksha, and this is The Storyteller's Lens. Thank you for watching.